Ahead, Bill Gross redemptions rise. We'll have the details. Santorum shines, but can he build on the gains? And what's going on here? Don't slither away. We'll explain a bit later. Here's your morning briefing for this Wednesday. The voters have spoken, and Bill Gross has come out a loser. The bond king seeing redemptions of $1.4 billion in his PIMCO total return fund in December, according to data from Morningstar. Outflows for all of 2011 totaling $5 billion. Gross bet against treasuries, which had a stellar year. Our number of the day today, 8. That's the vote margin between first and second place in the Iowa caucuses for Republicans. Former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney pulling out the tiny victory. He was near the top of most polls heading into the voting Tuesday. Former Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum finishing a very close second after polling in the single digits in the weeks leading up to the vote. Santorum saying after the results came in that he is the only candidate who has consistently won the support of Democrats needed to beat President Obama.
If we have someone who can go out to Western Pennsylvania and Ohio and Michigan and Indiana and Wisconsin and Iowa and Missouri and appeal to the voters that have been left behind by a Democratic Party that wants to make them dependent instead of valuing their work, we will win this election.
Who knows? Maybe Rupert Murdoch's tweet helped Santorum with his strong finish. Santorum stock is rising. That's according to InTrade, an online market where investors can make money on their election predictions. But Romney is still way out in front. Romney with an 83.9% chance of becoming the Republican presidential nominee, according to InTrade bettors. Santorum surged to second with a 6.9% chance. Newt Gingrich now in third with a 5.2% chance. Though President Obama still seen as having a 51.4% chance of beating his Republican opponent. A share offering by a European bank reveals the challenges facing the sector as it tries to beef up its reserves. Let's go to Axel Threffel. He is in London. So, Axel, tell us about this UniCredit offering and why it seems to be causing such worry right now.
Well, Jen, they launched this huge €7.5 billion share offering at a massive discount, 69% to yesterday's closing price, basically highlighting how hard it is for European lenders to raise capital in the current environment. Now, the discount is worrying because it's a lot higher than discounts used by some of UniCredit's peers in their own recent issues. And at this level, and this is the key, other lenders may well be discouraged from tapping the markets to raise money at all. Remember, the EBA, the European Banking Authority, has told banks that they've got to find €115 billion of extra capital by the end of June to reach a maximum capital or core capital level of 9%. Adding to UniCredit's problems, the take-up or the commitment from shareholders so far has only been about 24% of the new share offer, which closes at the end of January. So it doesn't look too good.
So with those concerns, what kind of impact are we seeing on bank stocks and on the markets overall?
Well, as you can expect, the UniCredit news is hitting the banking sector in general, which is adding to losses from the very start of play this morning. That's breaking a 4-session rally for equities in Europe. We also had an okay-ish Bund auction from Germany, better than the last one, but not particularly great. And add to that the latest set of purchasing managers' numbers for Europe, which continue to point to a moderate recession. And it's no great surprise that these markets are off today, Jen.
And finally, Axel, we keep hearing about all the economic troubles that the Greek financial system is having, but it turns out they have some financial instrument that people actually want to get their hands on.
Yeah. I mean, a little bit sad, a little bit ironic. About 600 rare and ancient Greek coins are up for auction, and it's in New York, actually, and they're set to fetch up to $8 million. One coin alone, a gold stater from a city called Pantikapayon, I think that's how you pronounce it, is the top lot in the sale with a pre-sale estimate of at around $650,000, but they're hoping for over $1 million. So I've got to say, as far as these coins go, it looks pretty good for Greece. Everything else looks pretty bad right now, I've got to say.
Maybe somebody can dig some more of those up in a vault somewhere. Axel Threffel, thank you so much. Well, our video of the day comes from China. Talk about taking advantage of the seasons. Architects led a more than 2-week effort to create ice castles as part of an annual festival. They had to rely on artificial snow to create the works of art as temperatures were higher than normal in the northeastern part of the country. More than 1 million people are expected to visit the mini city, which took 15,000 people to build at its peak. Beautiful. No lack of snow or cold temperatures in Germany last night. Strong winds hit the country's North Sea coast, shutting down some train service, toppling trees, and flooding nearby piers. Even heavier winds are expected Thursday, this time in the southern part of the country, around the Black Forest region. And finally, you could call it Weight Watchers for snakes. Australian zookeepers put a 21-foot-long, 298-pound python on a diet last year. Today was weigh-in day for Atomic Betty, that's her name. She gained 4 pounds, which was within her target range. The secret? Well, it's not fewer carbs or more exercise. It was fewer goats. That's right. Betty was only allowed to consume 3 or 4 over the past year after eating 10 the year before. I'm just going to give up goat cheese. That's your morning briefing this Wednesday. I'm Jen Rogers, and this is Reuters.